The views and opinions expressed by the participants on this show are not necessarily those of Stewart Information Services Corporation, Stewart Title, or Stewart Insurance. Before you make any investment, you should seek the advice of your investment advisor or attorney.
Whether you're a real estate broker, realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, everything matters when it comes to real estate. This is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Stewart Title's Bill Knapik and guests open the door to what really matters in owning, buying, and selling real estate. And now, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, brought to you by Stewart Insurance. Here to inform, entertain, and inspire, Bill Knapik.
Welcome to the show, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I'm your host, Bill Knapik. Thank you for joining us today. On this show, we have great guests. As always, we're going to talk about the western part of Houston. We're going to go to Katy, talk about Fulshire a little bit, even touch upon Belleville, Texas. Also, focus on the Cypress area. In addition, we have one of the best designers in the Houston area helping your home look beautiful, helping you with all your design things right here on this show. And of course, an insurance segment that you won't believe. Let's start the show right now. Let's talk to Leobell Martinez with Keller Williams Premier in the Katy area. Hey, Leobell, welcome to the show.
Hi, Bill. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to join you. I love your program, and I would love to talk to people how the real estate business is going on.
Well, everyone wants to know that. In fact, they want to know that on a regular basis. So, first of all, everyone knows about Keller Williams. They hear about Keller Williams all over. Actually, I guess you're an international company, but out there in the premier Keller Williams office that you're at, let's tell people a little bit about what's going on there and where you're located in Katy.
Yes, well, actually, I have been living in Katy for right now more than 12 years, and my broker, Keller Williams Premier in Katy, is the oldest Keller Williams here in the area. I have been in the business for a little bit more than 4 years. And how things are going? Well, despite all the craziness about the coronavirus, we could say that the impact in general, in terms of price, has been, to be honest, pretty much like zero in the Houston in general. We saw during the month of April, just the price went down just 0.6%, the average price. We have seen, of course, a shortage in inventory. There are not enough houses for sale. A lot of people are cautious, are pushing their sales a little bit. But one thing for sure is that our very, very serious buyers around trying to find their new home out there. So my suggestion for sellers is, like, if you're thinking about selling, this is a great time, guys.
You said a very important word, serious. It's interesting during this time, maybe versus other times, that if someone's inquiring, Leobell, it sounds like they're more serious. So that's a great indicator for you, the real estate professional, and enables you to help them in a quicker way, perhaps, and even being more efficient along the process.
Yeah, definitely. Buyers out there are taking advantage. We have great interest rates right now. People still need a roof over their head. So despite all the circumstances that are very unfortunate for in general the economy, the families need a home, and we have serious buyers. When somebody calls you and they get their pre-approval, they're out there to get a new home. And right now we have seen that a lot of the areas, there are not enough inventory. So my advice to people is, we don't have looky-loos trying to, make time. No, buyers are serious these days.
So the looky-loos may be extinct, at least for a while, huh?
At least for now, yes.
That is a good point.
They're not wasting gas and time. There are people out there looking for a home.
Back to your word, serious. It's serious business now, and that moves the process along. Also, I want to tell people, you mentioned to me before we started recording this interview that your background is in engineering. Let's tell people a little bit about that, how that helps. Right away, I make assumptions like Leobell's going to be very organized, very detailed, very number-oriented, just the facts, right? Tell us how you feel about that, because I think that's a super asset.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I used to work for the oil and gas industry. I'm an engineer. I'm an industrial engineer. and used to work as a reservoir engineer. And that my background helps me to prepare that all that information. I try to prepare everything with graphics, statistics. So all my advice and suggestions will be based on facts. I think that numbers don't lie, and that's something that have been helping me and my clients to better understand the market. So when somebody asks me about how is the market or how much I should lease my house for, I will be prepared with all the numbers they need just to take a well-informed decision.
That is a good point. So when and that question, I would think there's so many questions that are regular questions. What's the interest rate these days? That's a big one. But also, how much, you must hear it all the time, how much is my home worth, right? And sometimes
Exactly.
people think it's worth more than it is, but you bring the facts. How do you assemble, what are the facts you look at, for example, in the selling, listing presentation to answer that question, and how do you present them?
Well, I present them, especially these days that I do my listing consultations. I do it virtually by Zoom. So a lot of them, we're going to walk around the house. I'm going to present them facts, the pictures of the comes that I'm using to let them know what is the best price that we could list their house for. I know when you sell a house, there's a lot of emotions involved. So I try to explain them in numbers, the things that are really catching up the eyes of buyers. I'm going to, including in my package, I will offer a staging consultation. So we're going to make sure the house are going to look amazing, like a model home. A stager will go to their house and give them suggestions how to present the property to get the most amount of money in a list short time to get it under contract.
And I know you sell properties outside of the Katy area, but let's talk a little bit about Katy, because that seems to be, of all the suburbs, whether we're going north, south, Sugar Land, it seems like Katy, correct me if I'm wrong, is a very, very popular suburb, and the popularity seems to continue to grow.
Definitely. We have one of the reasons is like we have a very beautiful master plan communities out here. It's a great place to raise families. We have a strong and very well-ranked school district. So for a lot of people, it's not a long commute to downtown, and we have amenities, pools, tennis courts, you name it. The schools are great. The people, it's to be honest, it's so welcoming. It's a great place to be, and we have a lot of resale and even new construction going towards the west, just reaching also full share. That it's growing exponentially. So we have a lot of options here to offer for people moving to Katy.
Yes, Katy is very nice. I'm still in Houston, but I am almost in Katy, where my home is, and I enjoy the whole western area out here. You mentioned new construction in the Katy area. Give us an idea about that, if you would. What are the choices and what are the price points of this new construction?
Well, the new construction in Katy goes beginning for the lowest 200. We still see a lot of new construction in the north side of Katy, up to the luxury, for more than $1 million. We have a little bit of everything here. We have communities with great amenities. Around the Grand Parkway 99, there's a lot of new companies establishing out there. So we're growing really, really fast in the north side of Katy. And also, like I say, moving to the west, toward Fulshire, you can get that feeling, the country living with a touch of modern. So it is really pretty over here.
Now, that's also very well put. You're right. I've been to Fulshire. That is a bit of a country living, but it's new country living, right? I mean, the properties are nice. The amenities as you drive around have some very nice touches. And by the way, I said it just a few weeks ago on this station, on this show, and that is that Fulshire Police Department is extra special. They're on top of it. I know that for a fact.
Oh, yeah. Excellent, excellent, excellent. The Fulshire police officer, they are so kind, professional. And they are everywhere. So I know a lot of the people that lives here in Fulshire. They're very pleased with their services. So thank you so much for bringing that up.
Before we close out this segment, Leobell Martinez, it's a pleasure to talk with you. Let's tell people what else you would like them to know.
Well, I just want to let them know that if they have any real estate question, just feel free to reach out. My phone number, 281-725-7032. My email, Leobell, Leobell, @kw.com. I'm here to help you. I love to help families be where they want to be. Let me be part of your journey. No matter which questions you have, no commitments. Just feel free, because I know these times there are a lot of concerns. There are a lot of questions. So please be informed. Reach out to the expert that could bring you the right information so you can take a well-informed decision. So thank you very much, Bill, for inviting me, and I hope this information will help families to feel welcome and call me, and I'm here to help anytime you need me.
Give her a call at 281-725-7032. Leobell Martinez. Leobell, thank you for being on the show.
Oh, no. Thank you, Bill. Have a blessed one.
If you're a real estate professional, then listen closely. Cyber criminals are targeting our industry. They are impersonating real estate professionals, homebuyers, sellers, and title agents. Their goal is to gain access to your inboxes, computers, and clients so they can steal information and funds. Does your business insurance offset these risks? Not sure? Contact Stewart Insurance to determine if your business is properly insured. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827.
Our guest is Cyndy Key. She is the broker owner of Key to Texas Realty. Hey, Cyndy, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
And I'm thinking that everybody wants the key to Texas. It's a real popular place now, and it has been for many years. It's amazing, isn't it?
That's right. It sure is.
Let's tell people about your company. You started this company, Key to Texas Realty. Let's tell people about it.
Well, we started the brokerage in 2008, and we're located in Cypress, Texas, on Telsey Road, right at Grant and Telsey intersection there in an all-state building. We do business all over the city, Pearland, Sugar Land, Houston, Springfield, Tomball.
And everybody wants to know whether they're in the real estate profession. Well, they have a clue, kind of, but also as far as potential buyers and sellers, as we think of all the business categories during this virus event. Everyone wants to know about how the real estate world is going. So let's give people a word. As you cover so many areas, let's take the temperature. Tell us what you're seeing out there like right now.
Right now, people are very optimistic about purchasing, and we are just having anything that's really under $400,000 is still moving very rapidly. We went through a little spell where buyers thought they could make a few low offers there, but now everything seems to be right back on track, and I think that's because the interest rates are so great right now, and they're projecting that they're going to stay good. We're very optimistic about it. We've had very few cancellations during this virus. We've had a couple of people that lost their jobs, but one of them even, he extended his contract because he thinks he's going to get rehired, and so that was good news.
Well, it's interesting as there is uncertainty. In addition, we're happy about these low interest rates that we've had for some time now. Those are great conditions to be in. But it's also interesting how the Houston area is also very different than other parts of the country. And when we hear the national news, unfortunately, not everyone is doing as well as we seem to be doing here right now.
That's true. They're not. But, you get so much in Texas in housing on prices. The business just seems there's so many people that want to come to the Houston area. And I think so many times Texas does rebound really quick. We're very resilient here. We haven't been affected as bad, even, with the virus as so many other states. So we're just remaining very optimistic. We're just really excited that things are starting to pick up, the businesses are opening up, and our phone's just really ringing for people who still want to purchase.
And we're talking with Cyndy Key. She's the broker owner of Key to Texas Realty. Cyndy, how'd you come up with that name? That easy to remember, Key to Texas Realty.
Actually, my husband came up with that. Our last name is Key, so he said, I think I've got a good name for the company, and I thought it was kind of fitting because we're trying to work our way through Texas and grow the business and, recruit more agents. And we've been very successful in increasing our numbers every year of agents, and we're just excited about it, that everything's going so well.
The other nice thing is it incorporates all of Texas, and when we think about the Houston area, certainly just, and for those that hear the show outside of Houston and even outside of Texas, Cypress is, if you think of Houston as a center with rings around it, the Cypress area is in the northwest, and we are growing in every direction, but it seems to me, Cyndy, that especially the northwest and the west areas of Houston, of the Houston area, we're exploding, it seems like.
That's the truth. Everything is just really expanding in Cypress and Hockley and areas that we used to think were just so small and hard to get to. Everything just keeps pushing farther out, and there's new construction everywhere and buildings going up, shopping strips, and it's just very exciting. It's such a nice area, and we love the Cypress area, that's for sure.
Let's talk a little bit about the Cypress area. And as I think about kind of all areas of Houston, but again, that northwest and west, there's, from a variety standpoint, when people are looking for a property, a ranch, for land, correct me if I'm wrong, there's quite a bit of variety that we can experience, whether you're moving from one spot of the Houston area or if you're coming from out of state or out of town. Tell us the variety and the choices that are to be had for someone that wants to look at the Cypress area in terms of all the type of homes and ranches, and if they want to be big and they want to be little.
Well, we first of all, the Cypress area is close to the Beltway and the Grand Parkway. And so it's really easy access if you're living in Cypress or Hockley or the Woodlands, to get across town really fast. Before the Grand Parkway, I remember it would take me about an hour and a half to get to Katy, but now it takes about 25 minutes. So that's the good news about it. So there still is a lot of rural area in Tomball and Cypress and Hockley. So if you're looking for that type of property, there's a lot available. If you're, looking to be in a master plan community, there's a lot of new construction as well.
Tell us a little bit about that new construction from the pricing standpoint, the price points. Where do they start? I think you said earlier that under $400,000 is a pretty active area of the marketplace. But tell us about the newer construction, because I'm going to guess a lot of people want a little bit more space as there's been quarantines going on and we're spending more time in our home. And understanding, well, you know what, here's where I'd like to improve it, or I really like where I live. But I have a feeling some people are going to look for a little more space. What do you think?
Right. Well, in new construction, the pricing starts, like toward Hockley, it starts as low as $220,000. And the builders are offering a lot of incentives to get buyers in at a good rate. They're paying some closing costs right now. I've had a couple of builders reach out to our brokerage saying that they were paying up to $10,000 in a buyer's closing costs and throwing in a washer and a dryer and incentives like that to get people out. We've got a lot of agents in our office that do sell new construction, and the opportunities are out there, So, like, if you're a veteran, you can get in with no down payment. If the builder's, offering assistance on closing costs, it's easy to get in for nothing if you're a veteran. So that's very appealing to have incentives like that.
And then what about on the higher priced homes? Again, let's stick with the new construction. If someone wants to spend more than 5, 6, 7 and beyond, what kind of things are available?
Well, like I say, we have a lot of communities around here that are offering that in Cypress and Tomball. There's plenty of new construction with inventory on the ground. If you need something right away. Typically, the builders have some homes ready for the summertime. And normally, this is our busiest time of year. It starts in May. So we're still seeing the relays come in, and those are the kind of homes usually that they were looking at as something, higher end. So there's a lot of that that's still available. Once again, they make it pretty easy to get in to the new construction.
Cyndy, we have about 1 minute left. Let's tell people what else you'd like them to know about your company or anything else in the real estate world going on.
Well, I would like to say that in these uncertain times that we have been through uncertain times before with all the flooding, natural disasters, hurricanes, and all that, but we always bounce back and we always recover. And this is a different type of disaster that, Houston and the Texas area were very strong and resilient, and we will make it through all this. You can't always live on fear. If your job is secure, it's still a wonderful time to buy, and there's a lot of opportunity out there.
We are talking with Cyndy Key, Key to Texas Realty. Cyndy, if someone wants to reach out to you to learn more about your company or buy or sell real estate, what should they do?
Well, they can go to our website, key2texasrealty.com, or they can call us at 281-859-8282.
One more time on the number.
It's 281-859-8282.
There you go.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Cyndy. Give her a call at 281-859-8282. Key to Texas.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Let's talk to Crystle Neumann. She is with Key to Texas Realty. Crystle, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, in fact, it's great to be in the real estate profession at any time, but especially this time because it seems like real estate here in the Houston area still is a very bright spot.
Yes, definitely. Right now, it seems like, times are a little bit kooky, but we are definitely getting through it and helping buyers and sellers all around the city just prepare for what they need to do to sell and buy. And we are just excited to be, able to still help and navigate through things, how we are needed, in the industry, just helping everybody. So we're excited for that. A lot of changes.
And Crystle, tell people about how you approach the market as far as, do you do it geographically or where do you find yourself most of the time geographically helping buyers or sellers, if there's any one area?
Well, we definitely love to, stick with our area and surrounding areas that we're familiar with, but we actually get a lot of referrals from friends and family. I've been doing it for about 15 years now, followed the footsteps of my mom, who is the broker owner of Key to Texas Realty. And so just been really blessed to fall into the same situation where I can follow her footsteps and just make a way to help everybody in the community. And I mean, we do get a lot of leads in the Cypress area, but we also go out to surrounding areas. I mean, I've had listings as far as Livingston, and just we kind of go where we can to where it's needed to help. Even Belleville is growing out there. So, we're constantly expanding and just going where we can and getting familiar with each area. There's a lot that goes into making sure we're doing everything right and, helping our clients just navigate how to get interest in the areas that they really love. So.
And that kind of corresponds with the name of your company, Key to Texas. It gives us the impression that, hey, you know a lot about Texas and the various areas in the Houston area and even outside, it sounds like.
Yes, we really love just helping and just learning. There's always, in real estate, there's always something new to learn. Each transaction is so different, and we're just here to serve how we can and just be the best that we can be for each transaction.
And you mentioned your mother. Your mother is?
Yeah, Cyndy Key with Key to Texas Realty. And I had my daughter at a really young age, and she said, I watched her as a hardworking mom just kind of bring us up with value of hard work and determination. And that was really important to me to show my kids that, being a hardworking person can get you far in life. And, not only do we work hard, but we love what we do. So that's like super important to have a career that you love what you do and you can wake up every day and just be grateful and, know that you're helping someone. And that's really special. I mean, we work with seniors and first-time home buyers, and each client is just really special to us. And we have a lot of good reviews that say, along the way, Key to Texas and Cyndy and Crystle have treated us like family. And that's really important for our value as a real estate company.
That's right. In fact, and I mentioned that because we just talked to Cyndy a second ago, so this is kind of a bit of a family show, at least this portion, and that is super awesome. As far as the buyers and sellers that you're talking to right now, well, let's take a seller for example. How are you coaching that seller in this climate today? Let's say they're in Cypress and they say, "Hey, Crystle, I think we want to put our home on the market." What are some of the to-dos that they should do, and how are you advising them right now?
Well, right now it's super important to just kind of, as always, have your home kind of cleared out where a buyer can actually envision living there and not just have a bunch of clutter. Personally, I have someone that helps me kind of, help with staging and decluttering. And then if you're just a typical seller that wants to kind of prepare, you can just use your own stuff. Really, decluttering is a huge, huge part of just, kind of like when you walk into a model home, that's kind of how you want your house to look. Just not with a bunch of pictures, not with a bunch of personalization, not with a bunch of figurines, just really kind of clear and clean to display a really pretty house that, there's so much inventory on the market everywhere now. So you just really need to make your house, stand out and pop. And that's what's really important. That's what we try to tell our sellers. And we hire a photography company that is very, very good and takes amazing pictures, and now have incorporated virtual tours with a lot of the listings because of COVID, people don't want to rush out and see a lot of houses right now. So they really want to have the opportunity to look at a lot of pictures online. And that's super important to have very nice pictures online and have it staged really nice and clean so that people can see, kind of what they're walking into before they actually get there because, of our little times that we're going through right now. So.
Well, that's right. So, and yeah, the internet and the HAR is even more important than ever, but also it's always good to have super tremendous pictures ready to go. And as you said, the key is that decluttering. It has to be clean, neat, and cleaner than ever, especially now.
Yes, for sure. It's hard to do, especially when we have kids and we have, now everybody's a homeschool parent or working from home. It's really hard to kind of do that. But, we always just tell our sellers there's a lot of inventory still, and you really have to be, your home really has to be the one to stand out if you want it to sell. So
that's right.
That's definitely the advice that we're kind of putting out there now. So but you know what, we have amazing sellers, and they're also very respectful of, this is our profession and they trust us. They know that we know what we're doing. So they, really listen and listen to our guidance and, do awesome things and kind of clear out the front of the yard too and make sure there's not, just make sure it looks clean for pictures. And that's another thing too.
Of course, and that's the reason that they need to work with the real estate professionals like yourself and Cyndy, because they need that proper guidance, because now more than ever, there are just so many things that have to be dealt with and have to be anticipated. So a true real estate professional like yourself is very important and more valuable than ever, is what I think.
Yes, thank you for saying that. It is really true. It's true because, it's a kind of a weird time that we're going through. So it's really personal to have someone to help you. And our company, there's a lot of companies that they cut off at 5. I mean, we're always available. I mean, we get calls up to 10 o'clock at night. I have someone that's a nurse right now, and she has very odd hours, and she can only call me after her shifts. So, I mean, that's what's important and very personal about using maybe a boutique company like ourselves, because we're just, we stand out for that reason. You're not going to get cut off at 5. And have to wait till the next day for an answer. And that's been super important and super, the reason why a lot of people love using us is because we're kind of always there to just help and answer questions.
Crystle, you mentioned a bit ago about Belleville. It's funny, I live almost in Katy, so I'm not that far west, but for some reason I had a friend that lived in Belleville years ago, but I've been thinking about that. That must be a very popular place right now as Katy has grown and Fulshire. I'm imagining Belleville is pretty popular.
Yeah, you know what? I've got friends that live out there, and I just sold one of my friends a beautiful home out there on acreage, and she actually called me back to sell her mother-in-law's home in Livingston, and then she moved out to Belleville. So it's gorgeous out there. It's so pretty, and it's with acreage, people want to kind of distance from the neighbors, and then, just kind of have like a little piece of land, maybe not even that much land, but just enough to kind of have an arm space from your neighbor. It's just so gorgeous out there. And actually I have a best friend that lives out there, and she's like, I'm kind of sad because, it's always been our little peaceful place, but it's growing so much out here. And that's just kind of how it is. It just grows and grows,
Well, that's true. We were growing in every direction. The people could say the same thing about Conroe. Once was not so active as it is now, but certainly we're busting out in every direction. And Crystle, we have about a minute left, so let's tell people what else you'd like them to know about what you're doing.
Oh, just, we're so excited to help everyone, and just feel really blessed and thankful to still be thriving in this market and just helping everybody, as we can. And we would be so happy to help anyone that has any questions or get our guidance and use us for a real estate company. So that's the gist of it. And we thank you for definitely having us on.
It is our pleasure. Let's tell people how they can reach out to you.
Okay, my cell phone is the best way, by phone call or text, and that's 832-217-0331. 832-217-0331.
Sounds like you said 832-217-0331. I know they want to call Crystle Neumann, Key to Texas. And also, what's the website of your company?
It's www.key2texasrealty.com.
Super awesome. Crystle Neumann. Thank you, Crystle, for being on the show.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
In today's litigious society, it is imperative to have the proper insurance to offset the many risks facing your business, especially if you're a real estate broker. Your errors and omissions and cyber liability insurance can help limit the threat of these risks if you know what to look for. Not sure if your insurance addresses the risks facing your business? Contact Stewart Insurance to be confident your brokerage can withstand these risks. Stewart Insurance, 866-798-2827. StewartInsurance.com. That's StewartInsurance.com, or call 866-798-2827.
Our guest is Pamela O'Brien with Pamela Hope Designs. Pamela, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Bill. Glad to be here.
And you are in a wonderful profession, very important all the time, but I think especially now. Let's tell people about Pamela Hope Designs.
Well, we are an interior design firm based in Houston, Texas. We do medium, high, and high-end interior design projects. That includes probably 65% residential and 35% commercial. We do some small and medium-sized offices. We specialize in decorating projects, so that would be things like blind, shade shutters, soft furnishings, rugs, art, and furniture, as well as new construction and renovation. So we can also assist with paint colors, lighting fixtures, plumbing, the countertops, the tiles, and the design that goes into all of those selections.
And certainly you have a special set of skills, because to put all those things together for someone that doesn't know how, it's a tremendous work. And when you're talking about colors and the rooms, all the things that make a home extra special, and quite frankly, people recently, Pamela, have been staying more in their homes, so we've had a bit more of a process to be analytical about it, and I would think people will be calling you all the time, especially now.
I agree with you, Bill. I mean, we are happy to stay pretty busy all the time, but I do feel now that you've been cooped up in your home for a month and a half, how is that working for you? In some instances, there may be parts of the home that have performed beautifully. You never realized how well that room would become a study hall for your children, or how you could turn it into a small part-time gym for your family. But I believe there will be other areas of the house that have been frustrating. We were not planning on cooking 3 meals a day for everybody in the home. People would be at school. People would be at work. People would be traveling. So this has been a pretty unprecedented situation, particularly in the United States, but even worldwide, where we have been basically almost not leaving the homes. And now our house has to support our every single need.
And when we think about real estate, it is so important. The home is so important to us. And I want to tell people right up front, your website, in case they're not driving, your website is PamelaHopeDesigns.com. They will see the level and the beauty that you can bring to a home with your trained eye. And Pamela, how many years have you been in this profession? Because ever since I've known you, and it's been a while now, you are helping people all the time enjoy their home even more.
And yes, it's true. We've known each other for quite a while, Bill, and we will celebrate our 20th anniversary this summer. So yes, I've been doing it a long time, and I feel very competent and capable and excited about every single project. And one of the things that we specialize in is we really, really tailored the design to you and what you need. We believe the home tells the story of your life, and we want it to support you in every single way. We also want to respect your budget, and also we have to respect schedules. Remodeling, new construction, and even big design projects, they take a while, and they're coordinated, and they have a lot of moving pieces. So respecting style, budget, and lifestyle and a schedule, all four, it's very important, and it helps take the design process from kind of a chore, but you're excited about it, to actually a really fun, interactive journey from start to finish. And that's our goal. We want you to enjoy the design process as well as the beautiful results.
As far as the process, let's say I come to you and say, Pamela, do we start where I say, let's work on the living area / kitchen, or do we do the whole house? How do you work with people?
You know, there are a lot of different ways that we can work. When you have a very large project, I think the designer should be involved as soon as possible. We can be your advocate. We can be kind of your tour guide through the process. We're not doing the building. We're not selling you everything. And we can be that third party that just guides you through the process and keeps your design, your budget, your interests, and your top level goals in mind throughout the entire construction or renovation. So getting involved early is great. That being said, if you've just decided you wanted to do a project and you hadn't thought about calling anyone and you decide to, we can jump in at any given time, but we can really come in and help you coordinate, help teach you the steps, what you will need to know, how to avoid that 7 a.m. panic call. The painter says, I'm at the paint store. What colors did you want for the house? Or I'm the plumber's here and there are no plumbing fixtures. We want to avoid all that. We want to talk about what you're going to need, select it, have it all organized with our top eye level of coordination and a beautiful end product that looks pretty and flows from one room to the other, which can be hard to do when you're picking out item by item at 2 o'clock in the morning on Amazon.com, for example.
When we think about the scope of the projects that you do, if someone says, I just have one room I'd really like to enhance and appreciate more and have it be more livable for what I'm doing now, do you work with them if they just want one room, or?
We're pretty open. When we have time to do a single room or a smaller project, then we certainly do that. We have a lot of repeat business, and not everybody calls us every year to build a new house. A lot of times repeat business means somebody's son is going off to college and we're going to remodel that bedroom for the second son, or we're going to turn it into a home gym or whatever it may be, or help him with his college apartment. So we like supporting our clients, through the changes that their lives and their homes go through. However, new projects, sometimes doing one room can be a great amount of fun because you can get it done in a smaller amount of time. It's manageable, and it's very rewarding for both us and the client. I had a client call yesterday, and all they really want is accessories. They have bought a tremendous amount of furniture. Their house is very full, but it's not pulled together. Now, that being said, they need a lot of accessories, so it's really quite a large job, but it's very specific on just certain items. And we're happy to work that way.
And whether it's one room or a whole house, give us an idea of what the way you think about a room is going to be different than the way I think about a room, or we'll call it a space. So when you start with one room, what are the things that you look at in your experience and your creative eye? What are the things that come to mind when you first walk in a room that you know you're going to be working on, whether it's by itself or part of a whole home?
Well, that's a good point, because whether it's by itself or it's a whole home or it's an office building, a restaurant, or your bedroom, I go through the same process in my mind. I learned it 20 years ago from a wonderful designer who I worked with in Manhattan, and I break the room down into major categories. And I very quickly go through in my head the walls, the lighting, the furniture, the floors, and I just break it down into little pieces. And then when I start to discuss it with you, I stay in that. I use that same category. I use that same list. I use that same order. That way I don't forget the details. And I say, okay, the walls, the paint color. Here's an opinion. Here's a thought. The lighting. Here's an opinion. Here's a thought. And while we go through this breakdown and this discussion, you give me feedback. I'm looking at you, I'm seeing your reactions, I'm looking at what you already have in the house, or maybe a picture you may have shown me, and I'm analyzing all of this, but I'm keeping this big picture view based on about 5 categories that I just keep running in my head, like little files, and I'm dropping information into each one of them. But since there's only 5, it's pretty manageable. And I can come out with, even within an hour or two with you, I can come out with a pretty good overview of what I think you're going to like. And most all the time we're right. There may be a few modifications, like you decide to add something here or something there, but overall, our basic design thoughts for you, usually you'll come back to me and say, yes, that is spot on. That's the kind of stuff we're looking for.
And before we close out the segment, Pamela, what else would you like people to know about what you're doing and what you're offering?
Well, we'd love for you to visit our website, PamelaHopeDesigns.com, and we would love for you to follow us on Instagram, Pamela Hope Designs. We're pretty active on Instagram, so I show inspiration photos, I show finished products, and I show lots of interesting design ideas and tips, and even some little videos here and there, like things you can do around the house right now if you're cooped up and you want a quick update, even some health and safety things regarding sanitation and small changes you can make around your house for healthier living during our current situation. So Instagram, Pamela Hope Designs, and PamelaHopeDesigns.com are 2 great ways to get in touch with us.
And as we're talking, as I said earlier, I have your website up, and I love how you could just set it to PamelaHopeDesigns.com, and the pictures just change every couple seconds. As I'm talking, I'm enjoying the beautiful work you're doing all at the same time. Can you imagine?
Well, thank you, Bill. That is kind of you. And we hoped it would be at least a little bit interactive and you'd enjoy looking at some of the images. So I'm glad to hear that feedback. That's kind of you.
There you go. The website again is PamelaHopeDesigns.com. And this is the one and only Pamela O'Brien. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, Bill.
In today's litigious society, it is imperative to have the proper insurance to offset the many risks facing your business, especially if you're a real estate broker. Your errors and omissions and cyber liability insurance can help limit the threat of these risks if you know what to look for. Not sure if your insurance addresses the risks facing your business? Contact Stewart Insurance to be confident your brokerage can withstand these risks. Stewart Insurance, 866-798-2827, stewartinsurance.com. That's stewartinsurance.com, or call 866-798-2827.
Real Estate Matters would not be possible without our partner, Stewart Insurance. With a focus in real estate and a special focus on real estate brokers, Stewart Insurance creates insurance plans to address the risks facing our industry today. They invest a significant amount of time helping real estate broker owners offset and manage their risks. Once again, he is here, John Bramblett with Stewart Insurance. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bill. Always a pleasure to be with you.
Funny, I came up with something just a few minutes ago, literally. In real estate, we hear people say, what is it? Location, 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 right?
Yes, sir.
In insurance, how about risk, risk, risk? We're there to help, right?
Absolutely. Very good. We're there to help people minimize their risk and then offset their risk.
Absolutely. So today, John, you always bring tremendous information for everyone listening. What have you brought today?
Well, today, Bill, I thought we would finish up our series on understanding a real estate E&O policy. So the last couple of weeks, we've talked about the different elements that could be in E&O policy, elements that as a insurance advisor we look at in evaluating plans for our clients. But it's also what our clients should be doing to take a look at their plans to see if there's any questions that they have or if the coverage is meeting their needs. We just need to keep in mind that this checklist or this kind of review that we've been going through is for informational purposes, and each E&O plan is different. Each E&O policy is different based upon where you bought it and where you live and the extenuating circumstances of your firm, but just keep that in mind. But these are, again, some elements that are worth considering as you review current or potentially future plans.
That's right. So many things to think about in the world of risk, but also that is why it is so important to consult with you or one of your associates, because it really is it's tailor-made like a fine garment to the person's needs. Because as I said, risk. Some things we're going to take on the risk ourselves, and at other times we want to make sure that there's the right insurance in place for us to help us.
Absolutely. Sometimes we'll take the risk, and sometimes we'll place that burden on the insurance company.
Well, that's right. And the E&O policy is a tremendous tool.
Absolutely. So let's finish up our series here. One thing, depending upon, and this would be a unique or not an element that's always in place, but it's a receivership services. So what receivership services are, they include a myriad of services that are not typically included in a definition of property management. So if you're a real estate broker whose firm has an element of property management in the services they provide, there may be, depending upon the types of services you provide, there may need to be a receivership services element to it. Many of these services are fiduciary in nature, meaning, for an example, it's often the receiver's responsibility to oversee the property and recommend any potential expenditures. Maybe those expenditures are for improvements. A court-appointed receiver may also need to recommend when to sell a property and even maybe determining what that selling price should be. So if your firm provides these kinds of professional services, as a court-appointed receiver, you should cover those services. So if you do any type of receivership work, then one thing to take a look at would be, do you have that kind of coverage within your plan? Another thing to take a look at would be incident reporting. Not all E&O policies offer incident reporting, and not all incident reporting officers are equal. But what it does is it allows an assured to report matters they believe may rise to a claim during the policy period, even if they've not yet received notice of an actual claim or demand for payment. So if you've got a concern that something that's happened may cause a claim, if you have incident reporting coverage, you would have then the opportunity to have that conversation with the insurance company prior to that incident taking place. One thing that we always recommend for our clients, and this can be both on the business side as well as the personal line side, if you're working with an independent insurance broker or agent like ourselves, if you have an issue where you think a claim there's a potential claim, call your agent first, because that way you know that you can have that conversation and there's not going to be any kind of a record as far as it goes to with the insurance company. Now, on an incident reporting issue, there may not be that as well, but the first step we would always recommend is have a conversation with your insurance advisor first, and then they can help you through this incident reporting issue. And then finally, extended reporting period endorsement. And this is important to have, especially if you're considering not renewing your errors and omissions, or if you're shutting your business down, or if you're selling your business. So what this does, claims can still be made against your firm after the expiration or cancellation of a policy. So without an enforced E&O policy, you may have to bear the full financial burden of those claims. An extended reporting period, sometimes you might have heard it called a TAIL, T-A-I-L, as opposed to an extended reporting period, can address these exposures. It doesn't extend the coverage provided by the policy, but it does provide additional time to report claims arising from professional services that were provided prior to the expiration of the policy. So again, the extended reporting period endorsement, not all are equal. The amount of coverage is not equal. The amount of time that they extend past the end of the policy are not equal. So again, that would be worth taking a look at when you review your plan, and also having that conversation with your insurance advisor.
Once again, you bring forth terms that some people have heard before and have an idea what it is and maybe even know what they are. The other point is that you bring up terms that the real estate broker out there may not have heard before and don't even know that they need to know about it, which is the super value that you bring forth, your company, Stewart Insurance, brings to the table every time. The terminology insurance really, and I remember years ago someone with your company said it's like another language, and you're there as interpreters to help us to make sure we know what it is, know how we're covered, and then have that right coverage.
Well, what we strive to do every day is to take the industry, and every industry is that way, so it's not that it's anything super special, but try to take that terminology for the industry and put it into terms that everybody can understand. So get out of the jargon and get into just more of a traditional conversation so that folks understand that if I have this type of coverage, this is what it does for me, or if I choose not to have this type of coverage, these are what the potential ramifications are.
That's right. And John, before we close out the segment, what else would you like people to know?
Well, let them know that we're still here, we're still operating, and if things are a bit of a challenge during this pandemic, but both our personal lines teams for homeowners, auto, motorcycle, flood, wind insurance, our team is still working all the time to help our clients both update their policies and plans, expand their policies and plans, or open up new plans with us, as well as the team on the business side for title and attorney agents, as well as our real estate broker partners.
And certainly I'll remind people when they engage your services in any of the categories of insurance, you're there to consult, to have annual reviews, or even quarterly reviews if that's necessary, or if people have questions, you're always there. They could reach you by calling.
Calling us at 866-798-2827, 866-798-2827.
That's like music to my ears. One more time.
Sure, it's 866-798-2827, or you can shoot us an email at stewartinsurance@stewart.com.
Thank you so much, John Bramblett with Stewart Insurance. You've been listening to Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I am your host, Bill Knapik. Thank you for joining us once again. Super information on this show and on all the shows. In fact, simply go to stewart.com/Houston to hear any and all of them. We invite you to do so. Be informed, be properly insured. All those things are so important, not just in this climate today or the future, but at all times. Stewart.com/Houston. We're here to help you. Thank you for listening to Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Once again, Stewart.com/Houston, and we'll see you next week.
If you're a real estate professional, then listen closely. Cyber criminals are targeting our industry. They are impersonating real estate professionals, homebuyers, sellers, and title agents. Their goal is to gain access to your inboxes, computers, and clients so they can steal information and funds. Does your business insurance offset these risks? Not sure? Contact Stewart Insurance to determine if your business is properly insured. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827. In today's litigious society, it is imperative to have the proper insurance to offset the many risks facing your business, especially if you're a real estate broker. Your errors and omissions and cyber liability insurance can help limit the threat of these risks if you know what to look for. Stewart Insurance, 866-798-2827. Call 866-798-2827.